MTCB.
Introducing T-Mobile's hometown.
It's time to help.
This is my state, this is my team. You know what that means. This is for the black and blue that I bleed. This is for the chance to bring home that ring. But everybody gonna doubt this. So far there ain't been another way around it. We bring heat to the game each week. They just say we ain't got what it takes, we ain't bout it. Well, y'all can just keep saying that we ain't gonna make it, but at the end of the day, this will be the Panthers nation. You know, this ain't a game to us major players at every angle that you can think of. That's why you hate us. Get out the way of greatness. You can look at our faces and see the blood, sweat, and tears that it took to create this. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, but you can save it. Cause even on the darkest of days, you know we're always gonna find a way to tell them what we gonna do. We gotta
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the last day of training camp. It is in the books, and I am so excited to finally get to this Baltimore preseason game. You know, the anticipation has been building all week. You can feel the energy in camp for the last 2 days, you know. And I'm so hyped, dude. This is going to be a very, very interesting stream because we're going to look at some footage. We're going to do some press conference review here, reactions. And we are also, of course, going to take a look at some info from today. So, if you have not subscribed yet, please do so. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, select all, leave a comment down below, and let's dive on in. Shout out to Lock Poppy. Yes, sir, the best Panthers recap streamer. Let's go. Yes, sir, man. I love the energy. That's how you start off a stream right there. He's ready. That's what's up, man. You're welcome. You're welcome. Man, I'm happy to do it. We're going to get into some of this stuff in just a minute. So before we do that, I want to read off a Facebook post that was just put up just about 8 hours ago by Brian L. Chakal Wells. And he says, offensive line is like replacing your tires. You hate to spend the money, but the car wouldn't move without them. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the freaking truth, man? Dude. Oh my goodness. Dude, I love that post. Thank you so much for that. And I'm just kind of reading the comments under this. And MJ says, are you saying that the team has been running on rims for a bit? And not the MJ like Michael Jackson, no. MJ Rayburn. just making sure y'all know. MJ did not come back from the dead. No, this is just MJ Rayburn. Sorry, I had to make the joke. It's funny. Come on. Yeah, I could show it. Hold up. I gotta pull it up. Give me 1 second. I'll show that to you guys. Yeah. Let me pull this up for y'all. Okay. And then, boom. And there we go. So, yeah, here we go. So, are you saying the team's been running on rims for a bit? Yeah, you could say that. You could definitely say that. You don't win Super Bowls without a good one. They block for the quarterback and the running back. Tell that to Mike Rimmers, who cost us a Super Bowl and the Chiefs a Super Bowl too. Shout out to him. Yeah, we're still salty, bro. We're still salty. I don't even know what the Chiefs are still doing with this man on their offensive line. I still don't. It still blows my mind. Why you want a man that's gonna cost you a Super Bowl still on your line when you've already seen him do it before with a different team? But okay, that's besides the point. But yeah, he's right. He's right. You don't win Super Bowls without a good one. Carr won't move, but Carr can move. Okay. All right. Want more or won't move? I don't even understand these people anymore. Here we go. I was so right on Greg Little. Now that he's gone, he failed the experiment of Marty Henry. He's gone. What a wasted pick. Well, I wouldn't exactly call him a wasted pick. He's still worth the 7th round, right? So, yeah, the fact that he's worth that 7th round pick means it's not a failed pick, wasted pick necessarily. We just traded him out for a lower round pick. That's all we really did, which is fine with me. We might find a 7th round gem. You just never know. From what I heard, McCaffrey's about to come off his rookie contract. Him being the running back, best running back in the league, means they need to spend more money to keep McCaffrey, which is unfortunate because our line is truly garbage. I hope they've improved during the offseason, but I guess we'll see. I believe they have. If you look at the starting front 5 right now, and Matt Rule is doubled down on Cam Irving. So, you even heard Big Cat say he's interested in watching Cam Irving. So, but we'll get into him in a little bit. And there's a certain player I really want to double down on today. And we'll get into him in a little bit too. We definitely need to keep him. The team already signed McCaffrey to a lengthy extension. He's already taken care of. It's time to build our line. Absolutely. He got signed to a huge extension a while ago. We have for the next 4 or 5 years, if I remember. Yes, that is correct. I guarantee you one old quarterback would agree David Carr, their O-line, ruined that guy. He was a really good quarterback when he was drafted. Poor guy was sacked 249 times as a Texan. My God. Let's not even talk about the Texans O-line right now. It's so trash. It's almost as bad as the Jets. Honestly, they've lost all their good people. Yeah, that they actually had. So, his rookie season, he was sacked 76 times and recovered 12 of his own fumbles, which are still league records. Go figure. Now do y'all understand the value of an offensive line? Now do y'all get it? I know Like Poppy gets it, man. I know he gets it. It was a show of a quarterback who was coming into the league. I still remember him as a Panthers. I attended the game, started for us, and we were joking him with his white Mickey Mouse gloves. White Mickey Mouse gloves. I'll never forget that. He's right. Dude, everybody clowned him on that. Everybody did. Oh, that was great. Funny thing is, last year he was on NFL Network and the guy still has a laser like cannon when not on an NFL field. rockets into the small precision nets. It made it look easy. Yeah, I don't know who worked with him, but he looks a lot better. Yeah, whoever that quarterback coach is, credit to him. Same with the one that worked with Tannehill. Because I remember before Tannehill started making those runs, he never used to hit those types of spiral passes. I can guarantee you that. Maybe the change of scenery, maybe the better offensive line was the reason, but I feel like it is. Yeah, we just have to hope and pray that Darnold doesn't have PTSD after the Jets O line, like Carr wound up having, and is all shook. Funny you mentioned that, Boyd, because the way our offensive line was in 2016, Cam Newton was having all kinds of PTSD. He was having all kinds of PTSD. That man did not want another concussion. And I don't blame him. The fact that we want to bring up offensive line, and all that stuff. So, let's go to the chat here. Oh, Mike Rimmers, man, ruined Cam also. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That's a fact. That's a fact right there. I don't care how many Panthers fans want to ignore that fact. It's a fact. And he's ruining the Chiefs right now. And I hate that for anybody on the Chiefs because, I feel like when you got a quarterback like Mahomes, he's going to handle himself, even with Mike Rimmers on that line. He's going to make Mike Rimmers look like a Pro Bowler. Point blank. That's just going to be the thing that's going to happen there. And eventually, it's not just going to cost him one Super Bowl if you start him again on that line. It's going to cost you at least 2 or 3. Chiefs, come on, man. I don't know what y'all doing with that foolery on your line. Good luck with it, though. You hear we're starting some starters on Saturday. Yes, I did. I'll have to go look at Matt Rule's press conference to see how many starters, and all the details, all the juicy details on that. But we'll do that in this stream for sure. I was already planning on doing that. Great thing we play the Jets and the Texans in the first 3 games. Our D-line should dominate them. I absolutely agree. And speaking of which, the D-line had a day today. Did y'all see some of the stats coming out of today's practice? My goodness. 5 interceptions. One of them was a tipped one. And I know y'all saw that Brian Burns pass rush video. I know y'all saw that. That O-lineman never even touched the man. That spin move was just, golly. They can't handle the man. They can't handle him. And he's only getting better. That's the scary thing. If you're a quarterback in this league, watch your butt. That's all I got to say. Because that Spider-Man is coming for you. That Spider-Man's coming for you, bro. That's a scary man right there. I would not want to. Speaking of, did you see how many false starts the Ravens O-line had today? They got a little jumpy. They saw that Brian Burns spin move and they said, uh-uh. We're outmatched. We're outmatched and we know it. That's the starters, guys. That's the starting O-line for the Ravens. Ooh, that D-line's going to feast. if we could translate that into the game on Saturday, that D-line's gonna feast early. I can see it. I can feel it in that first quarter, man. I'm telling you. And I want to shout out somebody very, very specific. Frankie Louvu. Now, if y'all have not been paying attention to Louvu and have no idea who he is, this man he's been having a fantastic camp. I would be highly upset if this man did not make the 55. Highly upset, and I would voice it all over social media. Y'all will see it. Like, I'm going to post it in every group, too. Everybody's going to think I'm spamming. Nope, I don't spam. How many times have you seen me post in any of these groups? If I post in a group, it's for a good reason. Because I'm pointing something out that's very, very important for people to notice. So, yeah, Frankie Louvu, incredible camp from this man. And he tipped a pass that led to an interception today. I just want to point that out. You want to talk about bringing your competitive fire? And I've said it on a couple of streams now. Bring your competitive fire. This man is the definition of it in training camp of the people trying to make a depth chart spot. This man is it. You know, for all the casual Panther fans out there that don't know who he is, that haven't been watching the camp videos, that have no clue who this dude is, you've seen me point him out multiple times. But for the casual viewer that's going to see him in his Ravens game, you know, because he made a really good tackle against the Colts. You know, he showed up against the Colts. You know, he made a splash. You know, but he's going to bring that fire against the Ravens. Y'all better be ready for this. That's going to be your surprise player. I'm telling you. That's going to be your Effie Obata type right there. That's going to come out of nowhere and shock some people. And the thing is, like, they're not even promoting him much on social media either. That's the interesting thing. Yeah, I don't even think that video of him tipping that ball even went on social media today. I didn't see it. I could be wrong. You know, I got to check the website when we start watching some videos on there, but I haven't seen it run across my feed yet. Maybe it went on Twitter, maybe it went on Instagram, but I didn't see it yet. But you know, this dude's on fire. I can't promote him enough right now. Cutting him would be a massive mistake. Massive. We have a massive linebacker battle right now. That's one of our 3 weakest positions. And if we cut Luvu, y'all already know who's looking for our table scraps. Y'all already know. Go check the transactions of the Bills. Look how many Panthers players they have picked up that we have cut. They are looking for our table scraps. They're like that. They're like your family dog just sitting underneath the table begging for table scraps. And when you finally give them some, they never stop begging. They just sit there. And it's been like that every year around this time of year. I'm telling you. Look where Effie Obata ended up. Case in point. So, I'm going to make this very, very clear right now. I'm going to say this twice. because I want the Panthers management to pay attention to this in vivid detail. Be careful who you cut. And I'm going to say this the second time. Be careful who you cut. The Bills will pick them up. Not to mention we got Luke Kuechly sitting up there trying for a freaking job interview up in Buffalo. Golly, that hurts my heart. That hurts my heart. I ain't even going to go into that because I'm not trying to ruin the positive vibe up in this stream, man. But, yeah, if Luvu goes to the Bills, I think we're all gonna. That's gonna be it. I think that's gonna be the final straw where Panthers fans are just gonna get fed up, and they're just gonna start flooding the social media pages. And I honestly wouldn't mind it if you guys started it. If that is up to y'all, just keep it civil. That's all I got to say. You know how it is. You know how we represent on this channel. So, just keep it civil and represent yourselves well. You know the deal. But if we got to, we got to. I hope we don't have to. I hope we never have to rally up and start posting stuff on social media anywhere. Because the day we have to do that is a sad day where we've made a terrible mistake with management. Where we have cut the wrong player, we traded the wrong player, something. Some kind of nonsense. And I genuinely hope that day never happens. Because I want positive posts. You know what I'm saying? I want to be positive. I want to spread that positivity. I want to be that happy Panthers fan and happy Panthers YouTuber that brings joy to this fan base. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I have with these videos, and I feel like I have with these live streams. So, I feel like y'all are part of that family, and it is a blessing and a privilege to be able to do this and have this platform. And I don't say that lightly. I don't take it lightly. And, you've noticed when the management sees my posts, they perk up. They listen. It's happened on a few occasions. So, I just wish it had happened in 2015 with Rimmers. We would have had a Lombardi sitting in our case. But, that's besides the point. So I say that to get into this topic. Again, they showcased the defense against the Baltimore offense, which is okay, but we didn't get a good look at the offense again. And with all the issues going on the offense, that's not helpful. Especially to someone like me that's all the way down the depth chart and trying to put out the best read on this team that I could put out. That's not helpful. I need to see how these guys are improving. I need to see how their technique is getting better. I need to see these guys catching balls, at wide receivers. I need to see the route running. I can't exactly judge the route running because I don't know what plays Matt Rule was calling with this offense or the quarterbacks. I would assume basic routes like out routes, slant plays, stuff like that you would see in Madden. But yeah, I can't be the full judge of that until I see the offense in front of us, on that front field. And they never gave it to us during that Baltimore joint practice. And what I would have liked to see is them rotate, let that group come over for one section of the camp drills. And then once they're done with their section, switch them back. That would have been the way to do it, in my opinion. That way you could see everything. You know what I'm saying? Because as a team, we shouldn't be hiding anything. If we got weaknesses, they're going to show up in the preseason game anyway. Point blank. They already showed up during the Colts game. So these teams already know what our weaknesses are. They can look at our depth chart today and see those weaknesses if they're good enough at scouting and analyzing teams, and players and all this other stuff. Fact of the matter is we got nothing to hide. We've already shown our hand. You got I think it was either Scott Fitterer or Matt Rule in the press conference saying, "Oh, we don't want to show our entire hand." We already have, bro. We already have. What we showed against the Colts is what we are. Point blank, 100% real. That's what we are. That's from the second string on down. That's what we are. Now, we haven't shown what the first string is, but second string on down, that's a very, very realistic bar of where we are. And boy, howdy. At this point, I don't think we're hiding anything. First string was. Plus, we already showed our ace in the hole, which is our defense, today. We already showed that today with the 5 sacks. We already had these guys making plays today. And yesterday, too. So what exactly are we hiding? Please explain that one to me, Matt, because I'm still trying to figure that one out. You got me baffled on that. That little line right there. We're going to get into that once we get into the press conference video. But, to me, we're not hiding anything. Yeah, 5 interceptions. That is what we had, for sure. And granted, I didn't have the best view angles to really see what was going on. I was chatting it up with one of my new subscribers, so shout out to him. He knows who he is. I didn't get the name, but he was a cool dude, man. We had a good long conversation, during these camp practices today, and I enjoyed it. So shout out to him. Thank you for that great conversation, and I hope you like my videos and my content here. If you do, and you find yourself at home, stick around, man. There's a lot of great content to come. But yeah, thank you, Locke, for checking out my videos. I appreciate it, and everybody else that has. Our defense could be complete if you think about it. A solid D-line, solid DBs. We got Chin back at safety now, Horn and Jackson. And don't forget our guy, the backup safety. I forget his name offhand. Look, I guarantee you I'm gonna remember it as soon as I look it up. But yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. You know, I'm excited. I'm excited because he showed out today too. Yeah, Kenny Robinson. Thank you. Yes, sir. Kenny Robinson is the real deal. I like him. He will most likely end up practice squad, and I hate to say that because of how many players that we have to get rid of. But that's okay. You know, if he ends up practice squad, don't complain about it. Good thing. You know, technically he's still in a Panther uniform, but we got to make sure, you know, to try to keep him around. If we see any teams try to make a bid for this guy, we need to try to bump him up if we can with roster moves into the 55. That I see a lot of potential there, and I don't want to lose it on waivers. I would prefer not to. That's one of those players that, you know, if we lose him, that's depth. That's major depth on our roster right now. Yeah. Our starting offense is going to be a big question mark week 1. Yes, I agree. I 100% agree. And like I pointed out in my video today, the 3 areas, you know, and this hasn't changed since probably week 2 of training camp. After that one Monday where Matt Rule was really frustrated after that day off on Sunday, you know, that's when all these bad trends started. You know, the false starts, the wide receivers running the wrong routes, you know, them trying to use that excuse of the hot sun, humidity out there, you know, all of that nonsense. That's when it started. And I was just like, I was waiting for it. You know, the first 2 weeks, I'm thinking, okay, well, we got the mechanics down. We look okay. What, you know, when is the other shoe going to drop? And it dropped that Monday. The day I was not there. Boy, howdy, I would have loved to see that. I would have loved to point out some stuff from that day. Because I would have had a whole list of notes right here in this notebook that I could have thrown out there for you guys on that Monday. But, you know, shout out to a win against Getzenberg, man. She never drops the ball at all. Every tweet I've seen, she is observant and seeing stuff that nobody else is seeing in the media. You know, I got respect for that. You know, case in point, she pointed out that there was something wrong with DJ today. Sure enough, we get into that press conference. Yup, there was something wrong with him. Good point out by her. You know, I didn't even notice it because, you know, granted, I couldn't see that side of the field. I saw maybe 2-3 series from that side of the field. And from what I could tell, the offensive line was not drawing flags. You know, no false starts, but you know that's a small window of time compared to the entire practice. And I say that about yesterday as well. Small window. We don't know. I tried to get as much footage over there as I could. But again, we're working with limited knowledge over there in the last 2 days, which is not good. So we have to trust Matt Rule's words on this, and I feel like he's pretty trustworthy on analytical stuff thus far. Like, I haven't had any reason to doubt him or question it. I've been on the same page with him. Pretty much 90% of the time. There's a few questions I've got, like today with him saying something about us hiding our best players and stuff like that. I forget the exact quote, but we'll check that out. Yeah, here's another thing I wanted to point out. I'm not sure about all of you, but I'm assuming a decent amount of you don't do your research before spouting out ridiculous opinions. Y'all haven't even seen Sam play on the Panthers yet, and you want to throw in PJ because he played decent, quote unquote, against the other second and third strings. I may not have all the information, but I know Sam played well in college. He won the Rose Bowl after 9 consecutive wins and broke the freshman records. I already know he has time under his belt with Robbie Anderson. Yeah. And this whole post goes on and on and on. But there's some people that want us to start PJ Walker, and I'm like, what? It's like, are y'all serious right now? Can I just speak to those people right now, specifically? What game were y'all watching? Seriously, what game were y'all watching? If you think PJ played great, or at least halfway decent, man, tell me in what way he actually played decent. Tell me, tell me the Loch Ness Monster's real. Come on. Tell me Bigfoot ate all your campers. At this point, I'm willing to believe anything these people say. Right. Y'all were not watching the same game I was. At all. The rest of us that actually know what we're talking about are just like, what? Y'all had a few too many Coronas that night. I gotta say that. Y'all started day drinking. That's what happened. All y'all wanted to see was the Coronas. You didn't see what happened after that. You got a Panthers vision. You know how y'all got you got the Panthers color glasses? You just look through them. That's all you see. That's exactly what these people see. And it's the same ones that thought Derek Anderson was good too. And I was just like, what are y'all smoking right now? To the point where you think that either one of these two, God, I swear. And then they want to come out here and say that Will Greer played good. The man only had 10 pass attempts. How do you classify that as good? That's 60%, bro. Derek Carr had more percentage than that of attempts in his time, even in camp. And he did better than. At least you could actually analyze that. You can't analyze 10 pass attempts and say, oh, this quarterback is going to be a Pro Bowler. No, no, no. Get off that ridiculous high horse that y'all are on. Come on now. Y'all want a hot button issue. That's going to be it for me this season. I'm telling you. Y'all want to get a good rise out of me? Start me on that little rant again later on in the season. Whenever we get a battle between PJ and Will Greer for starting out, if Sam Darnold ever goes down, y'all get me on that rant. Come at me then, because I'm gonna tell you exactly the same thing I'm telling you now. PJ keeps throwing hospital balls. That's how Keith Kirkwood got in the freaking IR. Yeah, half the reason was TJ, but the other half was PJ. Nobody wants to address it. Nobody wants to go there. Anyway, man, all these couch scouts, man. Come on. Leave it to the people that actually know what they're doing. Get out of here with that nonsense. Now, it's funny I see this post about the GOAT Panthers in order and Norman at number 5 here. Because I'm looking at J.C. Horn and I'm seeing a lot of those Josh Norman shut down tendencies as a rookie. I'm seeing a lot of them. And I got a good look at Josh Norman during the Ron Rivera days during the camp too. So I've seen them both up close and personal. Enough to be able to tell you, you know, he's showing those same tendencies. And you look at management and the way they've been tossing aside good players after a certain number of years, you know, and just trying to get some value out of them. Nah. Not anymore. Y'all hear about that Robbie Anderson supposed extension that's supposed to happen? They're in talks with him right now. And if you extend Robbie Anderson, here comes DJ wanting a big contract. And I'm thinking, okay, well, if DJ wants that money too, we might be looking at a new wide receiver after that point. I hate to say that, but you know, if you pay Robbie and you pay him big, DJ is going to be looking at that paycheck like, where's my money? Where's my bag? And when we can't pay him, oh, hey, Sean McDermott. How you doing? That's going to be DJ after we cut him. Or we trade him. Oh, hey, Sean McDermott. Yeah, I got a spot on this team for you. That's right. Come on over to us. We might not have the best offensive coach over here, but, you know, we'll work with you. We'll work with you. We'll pay you the bag. You know, it's Buffalo, New York, you know? You know, it's a good team. And that's another case of that table scraps, man. I'm telling you. I don't want that happening. You know. So yeah, exactly. That's my sentiments exactly. To everybody that laughed at me for saying start PJ Walker, yeah, okay. Whatever. 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 Get this nonsense out of here. Look at all these troll posts, man. Oh my god. So this is why I don't go on a couple of these pages, because it's just nothing but troll posts. But anyway. Y'all ready for some serious stuff now? Let's talk about this offensive lineman Marquel Harrell. So this is news to me. I just saw this right before the stream. We released wide receiver Micah Simon. I told y'all he may not stay. He was a camp body. To keep roster at 85. At the moment, it's 85. We got to trim that thing down to 55, ladies and gentlemen. That's 30 players. That's 30. They're going to cut somebody you don't want them to cut. Harrell was signed by Buffalo. Ding, ding, ding. There they are. There they are. And I'm going to tell you, if we get rid of Harrell, guess who's going to call them back up? Guess who's going to call this man back up? As an undrafted free agent out of Auburn in 2020, Harrell spent the last 5 games of the 2020 season on the Bills' practice squad. Before being released in 2021. Now, why would they release a man like this? That's my question, because if we end up releasing him, where's he going to end up now? Because the Bills can't do anything with him, and they're taking all our table scraps. Where's this dude going to go if we end up cutting him? He was briefly with the Las Vegas Raiders this summer during OTAs and minicamp. So, let me get this straight. The Raiders don't want him. They cut him after OTAs and minicamp. He didn't even make it to training camp. He didn't even make it to the end of July. Before the Raiders just said, nah, we don't have a spot for you. Or you're just not cutting it here. So it goes to the Bills. No, he came from the Bills. Okay. That's what I need to know, is he came from the Bills. And the Bills didn't want him. So the Raiders don't want him. So now he's here. That's interesting. Interesting how the wagon wheel has come back around, isn't it? When we finally need an offensive lineman. And you heard Scott Fitterer say in that press conference yesterday that offensive linemen are tough to get a hold of. So, 5 seasons at Auburn and appeared in 43 games with 31 starts during his time with the Tigers. He was a 2-year starter from 18-19, being named 3rd team All SEC by Phil Steele for his contributions in 2018. Yeah, it's another SEC guy right here. Not a surprise, right? We have a huge history with SEC players. Not surprising at all. My thought is, if Troy Pride had not been put on the IR, that's 86 spots. So we would have had to cut somebody to keep this to 85. And we may not have been able to sign Marquel Harrell here. What do we want with an offensive attack? Is this... What do we want with an offensive lineman that the Raiders? And the Bills don't want him. What are we messing around with him for? When there's other guys out there. Is this the best available out there? If it is, then, okay, Scott. I trust you, but it raises some alarm bells for me. I gotta say it. It sounds like a camp body to me. Doesn't it say that the same thing to y'all? It definitely says that to me. Now, see, we got rid of Micah Simon. I got no problem with that. That's fine. I haven't even gotten a look at him, so I don't care. He's one of those names that just did not stand out. Don't care. We've been having wide receiver issues, so whatever. But this is news because we have issues with the offensive line, right? We're still setting these second stringers. We're still setting these third stringers on down the list. We're still trying to set them up and make sure that we have a solid string of guys that we can put out there in quarter number 2, quarter number 3, and quarter number 4 against the Ravens, right? And especially against the Steelers, who have way better guys than the Ravens even do. Now, I'll grant you this. Lamar Jackson did not have 3 of that may have changed a good bit of how aggressive we were pass rushing today. However, you look at a guy like Lamar Jackson. He's not the most accurate guy in the league, in the pocket. But if you show him the same coverages over and over and over again that he's already seen in film, and you show him weaknesses, he will shred. It's a proven fact. You can look at it on film. It's a proven fact. And you especially want to keep him. What the heck? Okay. Alrighty then. That was spooky. We got ghosts in my room apparently. But you especially don't want to let him out of the pocket. And the footage from today proves why you don't want to let him out of the pocket. And I'll show a little bit of that footage for you guys. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm not sure which video it was or which series it is, but yeah, we did let him out of the pocket. So again, here you can see the starting defense in black for us. No, we're in white. We're in white. My bad. Are we? I don't remember. Oh yeah. We're in black. My bad. So we're looking at the wide receiver versus corner drills over here. The 7-on-7s. A little bit of that. So here's a running back drill. And again, you can see the push on those defensive tackles is a little bit soft, man. It's a little soft. I gotta point it out. I wouldn't be doing my job as a YouTuber if I didn't point that out. So here we are again. We got sort of an I formation here. We got him in motion. And there's the push again. Now, my question is, you saw that same push during the Indianapolis game. And I point that out because we were giving up about 3 to 4 yards average to that running back that they had in Indianapolis. And I feel like it would have been the same thing with any running back that hits us, or worse, depending on the running back. And the workload. But these are just draw plays, ladies and gentlemen. These are not designed to go 15, 20 yards unless you got somebody like Christian McCaffrey or Derrick Henry. In today's generation of players. Now, these guys are designed to go about 2 to 3 yards, right? We're giving up about 3 to 4, average-wise. And that's why I kept saying throughout this camp, I need to see more grit from these defensive tackles. I need to see y'all get aggressive, plug up those gaps, fill in those spots, and make sure this man cannot get a big running play on you. Yeah. And I say that because these running backs are not Jonathan Stewart's. They're not D'Angelo Williams, of today's generation. When you watch those two, they were special. You watch them on the draw play, they were special, man. They were picking up yards like crazy. And back then, there wasn't as much emphasis on the defensive tackle position, for a good chunk of those teams. But once they started seeing that 1-2 dynamic duo, they said, whoa, hold on a minute. We got to start pulling these gaps. We got to find a way to shut this down. And it started a trend of defensive tackles becoming very, very important at that point. Fast forward to today, these defensive tackles are giving up about 3 to 4 yards average for this team right now in preseason. That's what I saw. That's what everybody saw on tape. And we're seeing it again against the Ravens here in training camp. So, nothing's changed. What have we learned? Is it technique? Is it somebody missing their gap? What's going on here? And we saw 2 really good push runs right there on draw plays. So, did we learn anything? I noticed that 34 was one of the players that was supposed to be filling in that gap. There was one other one, I think, too. And I don't remember who it was. But he was the most noticeable. Especially in goal line situations. So let's continue this footage. And let's see if we could spot who it is. And do our best to spot it. Because you can't really see the names and numbers from this far away, but maybe we'll spot one. And as you go through the footage further and further on into these parts of the videos, you'll start to notice this D-line is starting to overpower this O-line. Slowly but surely. Again, that's about 2 to 3 yards. That's a pretty good stop right there. Meanwhile, you got the offense over here against the Ravens defense, and we can't see them because they're all the way over there. All the way over there, guys. And I need to look at these wide receivers. So maybe this preseason game will give me a good chance to check out everybody and see what we're doing. But let's fast forward a little bit. Because now you got the 7-on-7s over here. And look at this hit right here. I want to point that out because he stopped it right in his tracks. That was beautiful. So then we move on to the next play. And you'll notice he's a little bit slow to set up. But I don't think that makes much of a difference. Just look at the closing speed. What a beautiful catch by this guy right here. Now, I got to point out number 11 for the Ravens. I don't know his name, but I think it was Porch or something like that. This dude was catching some crazy balls today. So, even against our tight press coverage, I'm impressed. You know, so apologies. It's a hot, sweaty day, so I had trouble getting the camera steady there. But you'll notice that 26 is having a good day. And there's the offense versus the Baltimore defense over there. So I tried to get as much footage of that as I could. And again, you'll notice that line does not jump. You know, despite them trying to make that happen. That's a great pass by Sam Darnold there. I did not catch the number of who caught that ball. I'm going to guess that's probably either Shi Smith or DJ. Maybe. Although DJ was having some trouble, so I think that might have been Shi. All right, so in this footage, I want to point out a couple of things. One, these guys get targeted for a reason. You know, if Lamar sees something, he's going to keep targeting it and targeting it and targeting it until you improve yourself as a corner or a linebacker enough that he starts looking somewhere else. And notice he keeps going over there to the left side. He's targeting him for a reason because of the press coverage. You know, there's that step or two of separation right there. And Lamar sees it and he just goes, maybe I should try that. I like that wide receiver. I want to see if I can build chemistry over there. Let's try it. You know? And he keeps seeing that weakness. Keeps seeing it. There it is again. There's that soft coverage. So, of course, he's going to try it. And he's going to be successful. And the other thing you're going to notice is Jeremy Chin. And Jeremy Chin makes a big play in this area. And look at all the separation they're giving him right there. Notice that right away. That's why they targeted him. There's a very good reason for that. And I kind of wanted to get into this footage today of today's practice before we go into yesterday's. That's another interesting drill right there for the pass rushers that I noticed. And look at all that room he had. Look at that. There's no way you're going to ignore that if you're Lamar Jackson. Come on. And this is just Lamar working on these matchups. And he's going to do the same thing on Saturday. He's going to spot these matchups and he's going to say, ooh, look at this separation right here. I could use that. He's already taking advantage of it, and it's not even Saturday yet. So that's something to keep an eye on, guys. And then you'll also notice my man right here with the pass breakups. He's having a good day. I think the Jeremy Chin pass breakup is in this video. I could be wrong. All right. Let's see. Yep. The whiteout route play right there, and they're able to shut that down. Yards after contact. It's big. It's a big stat. People don't pay much attention to it, but it's a huge stat. And it can win or lose you games. It can be the difference between a small play and a big play. And look how many yards he just got right there after he caught that. That demonstrates my point right there. If your coverage is soft, that's yak. That's big time yak. Lamar's just sitting there looking for those opportunities like that. Yeah. And I thought that was one of the few things that Teddy actually did well when he was with us, is he did look for those opportunities for yards after the catch. And he did well with it. On short and medium passes, but yeah, he was a game manager, as I've said before. And you're not gonna get that same you'll get that same game level from PJ, and you'll get that same game level from Will, on short passes, but anybody can do that. Anybody can be a game manager and third string quarterback. Anybody can pull that off nowadays. But the reason we had PJ is he goes a little bit beyond that level of just being a game manager, He goes a little bit past that in 2019 and 2020. Now he's regressing, and it's something to be said there. All right, so let's get into this second video. Again, it is humid as heck out there. I could already feel the humidity already through this video. Can y'all feel it too? Goodness gracious. You don't even have to see the camera shaking to figure that out. Yeah, so here's the offense against the Ravens defense. That's Terrace Marshall Jr., I think, that caught that ball. Sam Darnold. And you'll see, I think that was Terrace. That looked like 88 to me. To the person that said that I should buy a tripod. Right. Yeah, I wish I had the money to invest in proper equipment right at the moment, but I don't. There goes Christian doing work. CMC doing CMC things. You know. Yeah, in case you're wondering, the man's working. Oh yeah. You see Ian Thomas right there by the pole. Wanted to point him out. So there's like a basic rollout from Sam. You know, you can see, yeah, he's on target with his rollouts. He's properly throwing these balls where they need to go. He's on target. You know, he's not rattled. In any of these circumstances, he's not rattled. And that Ravens pass rush on this particular series did not look strong. So, yeah, maybe it was the strength of the O line, or maybe it was just the Ravens are a little bit weak at the pass rush. Well, not on that particular play. That was a good pass rush, but that is something to be said for Sam on these series. You know, he's not. If he doesn't see anything, he's gonna toss it away. All right, so here's PJ. And again, I apologize for the shakiness here. That heat just, oh God. If you've never been to these training camp practices before, that humidity is going to royally kick your butt. That's a nice pass right there. You know, medium range, didn't overthrow it. You know, just put it right in stride. And he does do that occasionally. It's something we'd like to see more of. So now we're going to get a good look at his throwing motion on this play, his technique, his footwork. You know, basic handoff. Yeah, that's right. He handed that one off, so he wasn't out there. Okay, here's Will Greer. Now, this is going to be a little bit out of character for Will Greer. He's going to overthrow a couple of these. And that's not like him to overthrow. So maybe he was a little rattled today. Again, a lot of handoff plays here. Nothing too exciting. But the running backs look good, right? What I want to see, yeah, watch the line. The line is not flinching. Look at this. Look at the discipline of this line today. Excellent. That throw was on target. You know, and that's the type of balls you typically expect from Will. Accurate at the right spot, at the right time. You know, it was beautiful. Those overthrows might have been Sam. I'm double checking. This is the first time really looking through the footage today of the film today. That was a nice pass right there. Um, but again, the line's not flinching. Maybe it's game time situations that they flinch. And you expect to see 2 or 3 false starts, in the first preseason game. Yeah, that's normal. But to see 6, again, Sam perfectly on target. Look at that. That's what we should be expecting to see from Sam this season. Right there. Those types of balls. His hands, his technique, his footwork, everything. Very good. So here's the offensive line situation here. And see, that's a hospital ball. That's what I'm talking about when I say hospital balls. Right there. Where these guys have to extend and jump up way higher than they should have to. And because of the viewpoint, I didn't get to see who threw that. I'm still trying to. I think it might have been PJ, but I don't know. It could have been Will. So I don't want to throw PJ under the bus for that until I know for sure. So I'll go back and look at that, off stream, and I'll figure out, and I'll point him out if it was him. All right, so that was your drills there. Anyway, but yeah, case in point, when I say hospital balls, now you got a visual representation of what I'm talking about. And when you see PJ throw a whole bunch of these types of balls on Saturday, now you'll have a reference. So, for those that are visual learners here, you'll get to see that. And it'll be on tape. Everybody will see it. It's not going to be a secret, How many series did PJ actually play, in that Colts game? To where there's no way you don't see it. And to me, that frustration sets in right there when you see those types of balls. That's going to put wide receivers on the IR, point blank, whether they get hit in a terrible way or not. It's going to happen. All right, so check that out. So now we're going to look at this one. Ugh, excuse the yawns, guys. It's been a long day. I'm tired. I'm trying to catch up on my sleep after these busy days, This 68 has got that last name of Ely. Is that the same Ely that I think it is? That used to be on our roster? Because I thought he was I thought he retired. I guess not. Anyway, maybe you guys know Coney Ely. You know, back from that 14 and 15 squad. I could be wrong. That could be a totally different guy. And there's a perfect example of Lamar just rolling out of the pocket. And as soon as he's got a clear lane of vision, look down the field. This is what Lamar sees. You know, you got some wide receivers open here. You got some coverage guys. Not quite pressing up against the wide receivers as much as you would like to see in press coverage. And Lamar sees that and he says, okay, first down. Yep, first down. Now here's where the defense starts to wake up. This is where you start seeing it. And it starts with the pass rush. Because the pass rush puts them on edge. Then Baltimore starts making mistakes with false starts. And realistically, the false starts began the series before this one. There were a lot of them. And I basically just say, look, let your opponent make the mistake. Stay disciplined on the line. Let your opponent make the mistakes for you. Don't beat ourselves. And we did a great job of not beating ourselves in this series. Deep ball, way overthrown, not there. Second down. Good coverage. Got it done. So now we got second down. Now, how does our pass rush respond? Watch this. This is beautiful right here. Because we're going to shut that play down right there. Now we got third down. Actually, they did get the first. Okay. So they did get the first there. So I was a little bit ahead. My mistake. So that was a running play. To where the defensive tackles are a little bit soft. And somebody had trouble filling the gap. Now that's how the pass coverage responds to that. A little bit tighter. A little bit more press towards the quarterback. Not bad, And you'll notice every single rep, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Until finally we get a pick. And this is where those false starts coming in. Right here. False starts. The O-line feels like they're overmatched. And you can physically see Baltimore's O-line beating themselves right here. Look at the discipline of our D-line, though. Nobody jumped the entire series for us. Excellent play right there. We were able to shut that down for the most part. We did give up the first, but let's see Let's see what happens here. These guys are manning up. And there's some big dogs on this D line, I'm telling you. Gain of about 2 or 3 right there. Yeah, that's a running play. That's Lamar saying, okay, well, I've seen the weakness of those defensive tackles, so I'm going to run a draw play. Yeah. However, this is where it really begins. Look at the press. Look at that pass rush right there. Look at that pass rush. That is some money right there. If we could translate that to Saturday, oh, that's money right there. So, with the sack, here we go again. And not entirely sure what happened there. I think that was a running back touchdown, but I'm not 100% sure. Looked like it. I don't know. I'd have to analyze that play again and really look at that one again. All right, so really nice pass there. Targeting those corners again. So let's see what happens here. Notice again, nobody jumps. What a circus catch right there. Man. Can I just back that one up just a little bit? I want y'all to see this pass. Look how on target this ball is. Gets both feet in bounds. And credit to my man 29 here. Just covering that ball, that man, as best he could. And there's only so much you can do on corner routes right there. And that's a good example of doing the best you can, but they still manage to beat you just because it's the route, you know? And because of their talent. Alright, so this is what happens when you don't seal off the edge. I don't know whose responsibility that was, but I hope I don't see that on Saturday. I hope none of us see that on Saturday. But yeah, you're going to see Lamar Jackson get one of those types of runs to that side too. So somebody's not closing off the gap. buffering on my YouTube video here. Sorry about that. Let me just back that up, see if I could look at this play again, you know. Alright, here we go. This was the play it was buffering on. Right, so, again, that soft coverage, that soft defensive tackle play right there, and linebacker play on a little ISO. Finds a gap, takes off. You gotta close those gaps. I don't know who's not doing it, but again, I would have to see the top down view to be able to see. Look how much time Lamar had right there. And that's before our pass rush started really ramping up on the next series. And that's what happens. We do not keep him in the pocket. And everybody knows if you don't keep him in the pocket, he's going to burn you. It's going to happen. So, all right, that in mind, let me see. Should have gotten a message by now. No? Okay. Let me see what this question is. Oh, okay. Yeah, 5 interceptions today on Lamar Jackson. So let's see what the report has to say about this. Panthers signed off a training camp with the Forest today. Impressive display of defense against the Ravens in their final joint practice. 5 interceptions. We had Davion Nixon, Shaq Thompson, Dante Jackson, Kenny Robinson, and Luvu was the last one with the tip ball that led to a pick. I think Davion Nixon actually was the one that caught the interception and ran with it, but I could be wrong. Could have been Shaq, but I'm not sure. But that pass rush was in Lamar's face all day. After a certain point, the last 3 or 4 series, Lamar just could not get anything going. It set the tone for the entire team. Ooh, sorry about the yawns. I am focused up. I am ready to go. Let's do this. We are better than last year. I was watching from the other field, but I kept seeing guys running down the field. I think they're playing much harder, much more physical. Some of the additions, some of the developing guys, I think the biggest thing we have to do on that defense is just eliminate the, hey, I got this, I got that. Get everyone on the same page. No excuses. Elite accountability. I want to highlight this word accountability. That's a big one right there. Observe the language that these coaches use, and you'll learn a lot about who they are and how they coach. You know, this is a great example right here with the word accountability. That's exactly what we need. He's exactly right. We need elite accountability. Great defense means everyone does their job and trusts their teammates to do their job. Highlight the word trust. because we have to be able to trust each other as a whole unit. Once we get down to our 55, if you cannot trust the people that are next to you in that 55, then we picked the wrong guy. Point blank, we picked the wrong guy for the 55. If you as a player cannot trust the other man, what are the other guys? So everybody's got to be accountable for their own responsibilities and trust that the other guy is going to do what they're supposed to do. That was a focus coming out of yesterday into today, and it looked like the results were pretty good. Very good. That's what we like to see. Now, Rule said that the plan for Saturday's game was to play some starters, but some injuries might limit what they're able to do. Okay. Sam will play a small amount, quote unquote, against the Ravens, with a focus on more extended playing time in the preseason finale against the Steelers. I like this. Only use him as much as you need to. I like it. The starters didn't play at all last week in Indianapolis, so they want to get in a little work this week. That's fine. Just stay healthy. That's the thing. Stay healthy. We don't want to see those stretchers. We don't want to see those ambulances, man. I'm telling you. Rule maintained that the joint practice work was better than the preseason game time away, since the Steelers got 50 or 60 snaps against the Colts without worrying about quarterback's hit, and the Ravens provided another look. That's a full season's worth of different blitzes we saw today, he said after Thursday's work. Yeah. As it pertains to Darnold, his workload could be limited because of the people around him. Cameron Irving got dinged up during practice, leading Taylor Moton to get more work on the left again. Now, here's where I got a problem. Matt Rule's been doubling down on Cameron Irving, but this guy got dinged up again during practice. So now we're having to pull Taylor Moton from the right side to the left again. You know, can we keep an offensive lineman healthy on the left side, please? So we don't have to do that anymore? He's an emergency to an emergency backup. We don't want to have to pull him from the right side to the left. Yes, he can do it, but that's besides the point. We shouldn't have to do that. This man should be a starting right guard. Point blank, he should start over there and not move. Not move at all. Once we get into regular season. At all. That's the whole reason we drafted these guys. Brady Christensen, Deontay Brown. We drafted these guys so we wouldn't have to put Taylor Moton over there. Yes, he can do it. Yes, we've given him some snaps over there. But that doesn't mean he's going to move permanently. It's not going to happen. I don't care how much these Panther fans want it to happen. It's not going to happen. So right guard John Miller was also held out of Thursday practice. And John Miller's getting a lot of work because we're moving Taylor over there. So, again, it looks like musical chairs on the offensive line, but you don't want to see that. When we don't have to do it, you don't want to see it. when we got everybody healthy and we can keep everybody healthy and doing these drills on the left side, then sure, a couple of free snaps over there, I got no problem with. If you're just experimenting, I got no problem with it. With everybody healthy. But once these guys go down, and they keep going down, they keep getting dinged up, I get it. It's training camp. Injuries happen. But how many of these can we avoid? That's what I'm saying. Like, how many of these injuries can we physically avoid? To where these guys don't have to shift over there constantly and out of their natural positions that we drafted them in and paid them to play, especially with their Pro Bowlers. So Robbie Anderson didn't practice because of a hamstring strain there. DJ Moore, who Elena Getzenberg pointed out, left about halfway through and his back tightened up. Yeah, she noticed it. Nobody else noticed it, but she did. So credit to her, you know. That's why these media people have the jobs that they do. They're really, really good at this. There's a few of them that are really good at spotting stuff. And you'll find one every once in a while. So you want to Rule said Moore wanted to continue, but he pulled him because he was hitting the back and landed awkwardly the day before. That is protecting your wide receiver. That's what we need to see. Beautiful. That's a head coach that we need to be supporting right here. If you are willing to take these players out, even if they want to continue, even if they are pleading with you, just please, please, please let me get some snaps. Let me get some snaps. Let me get some snaps. No. We're not risking further injury. Nope. It's training camp. It's preseason. No. Matt Rule said, I'm drawing the line here. I'm doing what Ron Rivera was afraid to do. What this past Panthers head coaching job and this crew that we used to have was afraid to do. I'm protecting my players. And I'm keeping these guys healthy. And I'm letting them heal up. I'm proud of you, Matt. I'm proud of you. Keep doing that. That's a positive habit to push into the regular season. I want to see more of that. That way we don't mismanage these players like we did camp. Like we did a few others, Like we did with Greg, like we did with Luke, Don't mismanage these players. They only get a small window of time in the NFL. And then they're done. Don't waste these players' time in their prime. And Matt Rule is saying, I'm drawing a line in the sand, and I'm not compromising on that. Good for you. So, I wanted to emphasize that point because we had a lot of those mismanagements in the last 5 years. And we're not doing it anymore. That Rule says DJ is an absolute warrior. A lot of these guys would say, Coach, I can't go today. He came out here and warmed up, and he went. And then he got hit, and it tightened up on him. I wanted to keep going. He wasn't happy when I said, "Hey, you're done." You know, and these players are going to respond with that. Yes, it's going to happen. And granted, you can't make everybody happy in these situations. It's just not going to happen. But, you know, I would say in certain situations, it depends on the severity of the injury, too. You know, if it's like a hamstring or something like that, you know, throw them back in once they're feeling ready to continue, you know? But if it's something like a strained back, if he landed awkwardly, nope. Yeah, you're done. And DJ wanted to keep practicing. If we could all have DJ's mentality about getting on the practice field, that would be good. You know, you love to see the mentality of the players that have that warrior mentality. That's great. But at the same time, that coach has got to do his job and say, no. There's a certain point where you can't throw these guys back in, you know, or risk a worse injury in that same spot. You know, trying to remember, there was a certain situation and scenario where we did have a couple of players a couple of years ago under Ron Rivera where they re-injured the same knee injury or the same ankle injury. I'm trying to remember what it was. It might have been. It may have been a knee injury. I don't remember. But we activated these guys way too early, you know, before they got a chance to heal. And that's it. They got that same knee injury, hurt again. And I believe we were playing either the Saints or the Falcons because the Saints and the Falcons, let me tell you something about these two teams. They come out there and they hit like trucks. When they see a weakness, they attack it. That's what they are coached to do. And it's legal. It's completely legal. And, you know, these guys are not getting. This is not like one of those pay ring things where, you know, you get paid to cause an injury or something. Yeah, nah. Because I remember that used to be a thing for a while. But that was probably before I started getting into the game. But, you know, back then it was a lot easier to get away with that crap. But since they put the rule in place, nah, you can't do that anymore. And the college, the NCAA is doubling down on that rule, by the way. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that. So you send these guys to the NFL, and they attack just like that, you know, and they see one of these players get injured, like a knee injury. Say it's a knee injury, and they say, "Ooh, you know, this is a star player. If I can knock out this knee again, this guy's out for 2 to 3 weeks. That's a big impact right there, you know." And that kind of sets this team back, you know, in that certain position, and it hurts their ability to fight for a playoff spot or fight for a division title spot, you know. And the Saints are especially dirty about that. I've seen a handful of Falcons players that are dirty about that too, but mostly Saints players. You know, nothing against the team or the fans as a whole, but I've seen some players that do that. And I'm not about it. I'm not about our guys doing it either. I see where the advantage is, but, causing injuries is never a good thing. No matter what player, no matter what team, I don't care. You don't want to force an injury. That's that just shows who you are as a player, as a person when you do that. All right, so by the end of practice, Darnold was left working with backup receivers and a makeshift line, and they don't want to risk putting him in a game for too long without a full complement of players around him. And I like that we actually ran a drill with those makeshift line people and backup receivers. I like this because Sam Darnold is our most accurate quarterback right now. Bar none, he is our most accurate one. So, for him, if you can make do with backup receivers and you can make do with a makeshift line, because injuries are going to happen with the offensive linemen. The wide receivers are not going to get it done, maybe, right? With the makeshift people and the musical chair offensive line. Which, it's been a musical chair offensive line the entire camp. So, makeshift line to me means just subbing people in and out, which they've been doing the entire camp anyway. So, how does Sam Darnold respond in that situation? Does he do well? Well, you saw it on tape. I just showed you one of those series, and at least half a dozen of those players were makeshift. If you look at the numbers that were in, that should tell you. Brady Christensen was in. You had Sam Tacklenberg in. You had Omar Bayless in for a play or two. So these guys were in there during that series. Especially when Will Grier came in and PJ came in, So there we go. Defensive end, Marquise Hayes was in a sling. Rule said he might miss a week or two with a shoulder issue, but it wasn't overly serious. Okay. All right. So, shoulder issue, but he wouldn't go into specifics about it. All right. Wide receiver Keith Kirkwood was cleared for practice. His first week since he suffered a concussion on August 3rd. Okay. So Keith is back. Wow. That was fast. So he cleared concussion protocol. So apparently that hit wasn't as serious as everybody thought it was. Okay, cool. Cool. That's good news. That's very good news. Now Keith is going to be battling for a spot. So we'll see how that goes. But he's way behind because of that concussion protocol. So I'm hesitant to say he's going to end up with a spot. But I don't think he's going to get cut until that last week. So we'll see how that goes. I can see him becoming a camp body. I can also see him becoming a practice squad guy. At this point, we don't know. while the Panthers defense had a good day, it's still worth pointing out the Ravens were not operating at 100%. Yes, I want to point that out for sure. They are practicing without their 2 starting tackles and 5 of their top 6 receivers. There you go. I thought it was just 3, but apparently it was 5. That doesn't mean that the Panthers defense didn't pull a good shift, but context matters. Yes, it does. Thank you. I don't think we're going to get anything out of Phil Snow that we don't already know. I don't think it's worth watching that one. So what else do we want to cover? Yeah. We were going to get into J.C. Horn. That's right. So let's watch this one. Speaking of Yahoo Fantasy, if you guys are interested in joining the Yahoo Fantasy League for the Keep Pounding channel, drop me a comment either in chat, a comment after the video, or a comment after the live stream, or go to the Keep Pounding Facebook page. And if you haven't joined there already, go ahead and ask to be joined. I'll add you guys and leave a comment. Show your knowledge. If you're interested in doing that. Again, we're not playing for prizes this year. We're only playing for the top 3 viewers. Top 3 winners will get a signed letter from me saying thank you for participating and winning. Top 3. And I will be participating as well. And if I happen to be in the top 3, then it will just go to the next person down. After me. Will count as the top 3. But, maybe once we can get autographs going in training camp again, maybe after COVID protocols are done, then maybe we could have some autographed training camp books again. That would be cool, right? So, for the top 3 winners, maybe a signed ball or something like that. You just never know who's going to sign these booklets or balls, in training camp when they were allowing it. They had a couple of autographs today and yesterday, but I think it was J.C. Horn was out there today and yesterday. But obviously Lamar Jackson didn't get the memo on that, but it is what it is. And just so you guys are aware, I did talk to JC Horn and try to get him to do like a 30-second promo for the channel, and he said, I can't do that. So, I get it, man. I get it. It's all good. I hope you saw my tweet, and, asking him why. With all due respect, I do plan on respecting the policies, and everything else that they put in place, for safety reasons. So, if they do somehow allow players to do that at some point, and any players wish to do that, please do get in touch with me. I would love to do a 30-second promo with you or a minute-long promo with you. Awesome. I do. I would love to do an interview. I don't mind one bit. Hit me up, guys. Like, for real. If any players or coaches happen to be listening and they would like to do that, just hit me up on the Facebook page. Is the best way to get in touch with me. Instagram is also a good way to get in touch with me. Shadow Warrior 645 with one W in the name. So, if that's your thing, get in touch. Um, if not, I totally get it. Safety precautions are what they are with COVID. I get it. I just wanted to clarify what the reasoning was. So, that being said, without further ado, here is our favorite guy, JC Horn. Let's go. Mm-hmm.
Just well. In person.
I just want to stop it right there and say he's doing an excellent job uh, with the press here, with the interviews. And if you go back and look at his first press conference with this same crew, he's gotten used to him now, and he's become a lot more professional. You know, so I just want to give him props for that. Great job, man.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna get much more out of this. Um, so I'm just gonna shift over to the Matt Rule press conference, uh, and then we're gonna cover day 16 footage, and then any comments or questions that the chat has here. So, That's the plan right now for the rest of this stream. So, but yeah, if there's any players that you would like to talk about, throw a name in chat, and we'll discuss them. But I want to get to this press conference real quick. Let's go. Matt Rule in 3, 2, 1. Let's jump into it. Two series, okay. Whoa. Okay. So, there's two different things to unpack in those last two sentences there. One, he talks about the blitzes and somebody's got to win, and he was happy with it with the offense today. So that means the offensive line did their job correctly, and they won the majority of those battles, right? Is that what we're getting out of this? That's my interpretation of that line. So maybe, Matt Rule says a lot of things that could be, you just kind of make your own judgment about what it means sometimes. And a lot of times, a lot of people can take that out of context and use that, to generate a story or something like that, or a false narrative. And you hate to see that happen because Matt Rule is just such a genuine guy, and you don't want to see that happen. So, guys, I want to emphasize, don't take this stuff out of context. Take it at face value. He's telling you this is what it is. Don't take it out of context. Go by your first instinct. The positive instinct. Secondly, there weren't any home run balls. Now, what does he mean by home run balls? Deep passes. We didn't connect on any of those. Yeah, see, that's something that people miss right there. And he says it so fast that people just don't pick up on it. But this is why I like to do these press conferences, because these little lines right here that you pick up on, and it could be the body language, it could be the personality trait where he talks fast because he's from, more so a northern area. But listen to it. We protected really well today. Good. Yeah. Omar's been doing really good. He's had a good camp so far. Whoa, 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 whoa. So you're gonna tell me some of these guys have never been in a huddle before? Really? Mm. Um, I know that Clemson does that because they do a lot of hurry up offense, and it's tempo related. My thoughts on that are tempo. When you're trying to run your offense, you're trying to get down the field quickly, accurately, and don't want to break the chemistry. I get it. But some of these guys have never been in a huddle before. I don't know. And we're just now talking about this on the last day of training camp. I don't like that. I don't know about y'all, but I don't like that. That sends a major red flag to me. Excuse me, it's late. Uh, I don't like that. I'm sorry, guys. This is just a major red flag to me. Why do we have guys that have never been in a huddle? You do all that film study on these guys. You do all that work in the off season. You draft these guys. You pick these guys up off the free agent list, and these guys have done their homework. I promise you. Otherwise, these guys would not be here in training camp in a uniform. And you're gonna tell me that you're picking up guys that have never been in a huddle, and now you're saying something about it on the last day of training camp. I don't know how to feel about that, bro. Point blank, I don't know how to feel about that. How do y'all feel about that in chat? Let me see. Throw some comments up about that. How do y'all feel about that one? That makes me nervous right there. These guys are going into the NFL without ever being in a huddle. So we got to reteach these guys how to be audible, how to be disciplined, how to communicate with each other in a huddle. So we got to put the training wheels on for these guys, right? Is that what you're saying, Matt? We got to put the training wheels on in training camp. Oh my lord. Okay, I'd be a lot less concerned if he said that in the first 3 days, you know. But the fact that he says it now, that's why I'm concerned. Because the fact that you have to put those training wheels on now, and we're almost into the second preseason game, mind you. Now he's putting the training wheels on the bike for those guys. I mean, what? Really? Someone explain this one to me. I don't like it, man. I don't like it. Man, let's keep this going. Let's go. Yeah, we discussed that. Sorry, guys. Ads, you know how it is. Um, it's YouTube. Come on, get on with it. Get on with it. Okay, here we go. Whoa, whoa. He was angry that he wasn't playing in the game last week. Oh, okay, guys. I need to say this for the players' benefit. I get it if you don't get enough reps in a preseason game, but don't get angry. Don't take it out on your coaches. Don't those are things you don't want to do. That's going to reflect badly on you, and that's going to become a storyline. I'm telling you, be patient with your coaches. Now, if you guys are listening to this, be patient with your coaches. They will give you an opportunity. They have a certain way they want to do things. And I understand you guys are anxious, man. I get it. I get it. Especially the rookies, man. I get it. But you got to put that aside. You're trying to make a roster spot. You can't let that anger get the best of you. And that frustration get the best of you. Otherwise, it reflects poorly and makes you look bad in front of everybody. Represent yourselves well, and good things will happen. Be patient. Good things will happen. Your opportunities will come. Matt Rule knows what he's doing. Trust the process.
Not it.
Oh, y'all can't even hear these, can you? Hold up. Y'all can't even hear these, can you? That's my bad. I keep thinking y'all could hear all these videos. That was my bad.
This 17 game season that
go
we're
again.
about to enter, plus 3 preseason games, plus whatever comes next. That's a long stretch. So these guys have to be pros, and I think JC has all that so far. He's been the total package. He just has to do it day in and day out for a really long time. But from what I've seen, I'm really excited about it. So
Matt, it seems like much of Sam's work this camp has been the short and intermediate routes. Will you kind of turn him loose a little bit more as the weeks come on, or is it more just trying to keep everything consistent?
And I wouldn't even say that respectfully. I think we've tried to throw the ball deep. We've called it deep. We haven't always connected on them deeply. I think sometimes in camp when you have camp legs, some of those balls, like the guys that run 4-3 start to run 4-5, and Sam's throwing the ball where it should be, and they're kind of, you see balls grazing off guys' fingers down the field. So I think we've thrown it down the field. Really at the end of the day, and so I think with the guys we have, we hope that we can establish the run game, make people come up, play run defense, and throw the ball deep and throw the ball down the field. But our defense has made it. When we play against our defense, they're not giving those deep balls up. They have made a commitment to, hey, we're going to force you to have to check the ball down. And we check the ball down to Christian McCaffrey. Good things will happen. So I think Sam's development has been really, really good. I think.
Okay, stop right there. So this is the conversation I wanted to have about the deep ball. This is what I wanted to hear from Coach Rule about right here, because it's a hot topic issue, particularly with PJ and Will Greer. I'm not worried about Sam Darnold. He's been throwing some good balls deep, so that's not an area of concern for me. It's Will and PJ. Now, he's saying that. Let me see if I can get this right. He's saying that the defense is forcing us to check these balls down. Now, that's an explanation as to why we saw a ton of checkdowns in training camp. That explains it right there. So, now, keeping that in context, when you watch this game against Baltimore, keep in mind, if Baltimore's D in the secondary starts forcing us to check these balls down, you're not going to see as many deep ball attempts. That explains a lot. I get it now. I get it. Thank you, Matt, for that explanation. I appreciate that, Matt. That answered a big question for me as far as what's going on there.
It's been across the board, getting us in the right checks, protections. And today, there were some really hard looks. There were some mistakes made by everybody. One thing I know about him is he usually goes in there and really grinds at it. I mean, we'll break camp right now, and I know he'll be in there first thing tomorrow morning watching the tape, seeing, hey, what can I do to improve?
That's the type of player we got, ladies and gentlemen. That's J.C. Horn. Tell me that man's not a dog on this defense. Come on now. That's the type of mentality we need on this team. We need more of that right there. We need more guys that are going to be willing the very next day to just say, ooh, what can I do to improve? Every day's a chance, a new opportunity to improve. And that doesn't just go for players, that goes for coaches, that goes for us too, as people. When we look at the things that we do in life, we say, okay, well, number one, what would we like to accomplish today? That's the first thing I say in my mind to myself every day. What would I like to accomplish today? 2, how can I improve on yesterday? What have I learned? How can I put those into practice? 3, get up and let's do it. Put those words into action. 3-step process right there. Simplified. That's the
Yeah,
type
he
of
probably
people
hasn't
we
made
need
as
on
many
this team.
plays, and I think part of that's probably just who we're going against and the opportunities. But I think CJ is a guy that's that shows up, that is a good punt returner. Last week was really, our defense either got turnover, we took the ball away 3 times, or the ball was punted in negative territory. So we never really got him or David to get a really good punt return with blockers. But I think CJ's a good football player. I think he's going to find a way to make plays, and I'm anxious to see him play Saturday night. I'm hopeful that he can get a chance to go attack the ball and make a play.
Anyone on the
Excuse me.
field tell you about Davion's day?
I talked to the team in there. Davion's a very big personality, and he's great. You should hear him sing. He's an amazing singer. So I said, I looked over, I saw Davion running down the field, and they said, Coach, he had 2. I said, oh my goodness. And so as he walked off the field, I said, hey, Davion, no one cares. And he said, Coach, no one cares until I get my hands right, my first step right. So he's going to be a really good player. He's a really good player at Iowa.
Now, I want to point this out. David Nixon said, even after he got these 2 picks, no one cares if I don't get my feet right and I don't get my hands right. Think about that. This man's already critiquing his technique. He's already in that mode. He's just like, I don't even care that I just got a pick. My technique is off. Man, that's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear right there. That tells me Davion Nixon is serious right there about making his depth chart spot. This man is refining the little things. And I love it. I love it. I need to see more of that right there. When I hear comments like that, it makes me so happy to know that these players are taking that technique seriously, those hands drills seriously, all of this stuff seriously, and really trying to apply it. And they're never satisfied. No matter how well they did that day, they're never satisfied. They're still hungry for more. And it's the hungry players, man. Those are the ones that make the 55. Point blank, those are the ones that make the 55. Every year.
The really good personality, and so it's just the rookies. The rookies are still, to me, in rookie mode.
Point, he needs to keep working.
And a great
All
personality
the
too
rookies,
on top of
they
it.
make
That's a
some
bonus.
plays. We make it. Everyone salutes them. We all want to talk to them. We want to put them on. And then they come out the next day. They have to be great the next day. My thing is just consistency is the truest measure of success. And so, really the truest measure of a man, as it said. So, just trying to be consistent day in and day out. Let something bad happens, let it go. Something good happens, let it go. And so, I'm sure they're getting that message.
We asked you this about a week and a half ago, but
All right.
a handful of guys.
Alright, so we got that ad. But you love seeing that right there.
Yeah, if you say, hey, that's how we want it done, you would look at like Frankie Louvu. You'd look at, I'll stay away from the starters because the starters, those are the names everyone knows. But you'd look at like Frankie Louvu. You look at what Marquise Haynes. You would look at. I don't want to leave him about Sean Chandler.
Sean Chandler, yeah.
You look at a lot of ways at like Chuba and what he's done. He's just playing on special teams.
Chuba, yeah.
CJ Saunders
Yeah.
we talked about. Mike Horton's a guard, and we say, hey, can you we lose a guy last Friday. Can you snap? And he snapped. Now some snaps have been on the ground, but he's in there in his hotel room snapping. There's a lot of guys out there that are what we're looking for. So.
I know Spencer got a big run in the 11th period, and also had some big runs in the game. How much is he kind of making that decision difficult?
Yeah, well, I think as we say, your greatest ability is your availability, right? And so Spencer's out there day in and day out. So we know he's a good runner. There's so much more to being a running back, blitz pickup, running the right routes, and playing on special teams. And so Spencer's trying to develop in those areas. But you can see he's got the fundamental gift of running the football. So I think he's got a good future. These preseason games for guys like him are really, really, really important.
Have you been happy with how you saw?
Okay. I'll keep an eye on him. I'll watch him during this Ravens preseason game. We'll see what he brings. I wasn't so much watching the running backs during that Colts game as I was the offensive line. And that's not a good thing. If you're watching the offensive line more so than your running backs, you got an offensive line problem. Point blank. If you're watching false start after false start after false start, you should be watching these big runs from the running backs. Like 3 or 4 yards, 5, 6 yards per carry. Then you got a problem at your line. And it starts there. It really starts there. Run blocking. You got to open up these gaps for these guys. So it matters. But I'll take a look at
I
him.
think we have a really good rookie class, both drafted guys and undrafted guys, and a lot's being put on their plates. Like Deontay Brown, sprains his ankle in the game the other day. He comes out here, he's playing right guard, he's playing left guard, he's playing versus good players. He's out there blocking Calais Campbell. I mean, we're not out there with...
Whoa! He was blocking Campbell? And he was on left guard and right guard? What did I tell you all about Deontay Brown, man? What did I tell you all about him? Man. That was my top ranking guard going into the draft day. Top ranking guard on my list. He was the guy I wanted us to get. And now you're starting to see some results. I'm telling you, Deontay Brown is solid. If y'all don't think he's solid, just watch him. Just watch him on Saturday. Watch him on Saturday. See what you think of him. If you disagree after that, let me know.
Always the starters out there. We're out there and we got young guys but you know what? That's what they need. So I'm happy with the rookie class, but they have got to continue to do it for a long time.
Speaking of availability, Taylor had to play a lot at left tackle today. Is there a point where you got to, if Cam, I guess he was dinged a little bit, is there a point you got to say, hey, that's twice now, we got to make
No. And I understand from your guys' perspective, that's like a thing you guys are talking a lot about, but we're going to go with our best five when we have them. And if a guy goes down, that's the other best five, right? And so, we had different mixed combinations last year. That's why we practice where we move guys around in practice. So each week it'll be, hey, who are our best 8 up that week and who are our best 5. And, Taylor's getting more and more comfortable on the left side, which is good. But when Cam's out there, Cam's been excellent so far here these 2 days. So when he's been out there, he's played really well. So, we're not a big Veterans Day outfit. We do it, some of them. But, so some of these guys, when they get banged up, I just hold them a little bit. Say, hey, hold him. Johnny wasn't out there today. And that was a pretty good day for us. We didn't have Johnny out there. We had Cam limited. DJ limited, no Robbie. So pleased with a lot of the young guys. The guys that are fighting for spots out here, a lot of guys showed up. So I'm anxious to watch this tape.
Yeah. I noticed that too.
Yeah, and it's
the young guys are
it's
hungry.
a unique thing. It's it's not going to be anything that'll be long term, but it just needs some rest. So it's just I won't even go into what it is. Yeah, but it's a unique thing for him that he has. So it'll be a week to 2 weeks, and we'll be smart with it, bringing it back because it's the preseason.
I think there's some other coaches in the league that say that if you do enough of these joint practices, that the need for preseason games goes away a little bit. Do you feel like you guys have gotten enough out of these joint practices that makes the preseason games that much less important?
Yeah, we've got more physical, hard one-on-one reps than probably. I don't know if any other team did 2 joint practices. Some of them might have, but that was today. I don't know how many reps that was, but that was long, and that was a lot of practice. So to come out here for 2.5 hours, 2 days in a row, versus that caliber physical of a team, you'll never get that in a preseason game. Normally in a preseason game, you go like a series or 2 the first game, a quarter the second game, and a half the third game.
It was
you
good
come out
for
of the
us.
preseason with 100 reps, maybe 80 reps. We have well over that in 2 weeks. So the thing that you don't get is the operation, the looking at and again, that's what we're using the Steelers game for. We'll try to get some guys out there this week just to make sure we have that. But our greater health and the long-term health of our team is really important to me as well. So I want to get this work. I don't want to get guys banged up. So that all goes into these decisions.
Thank you, Coach Rule. This
Oh,
man
everybody.
cares.
Yeah, everybody. I mean, just
This
getting the
man
play call
cares.
in. This year we went out for the game. The
Finally,
NFL
a
has
coach that
new
cares.
headsets. So like every coach was out there practicing with a new set of buttons. Some of these guys have been in the league coached in the league for 20 years. They know where it is. They don't have to think about it. And all of a sudden now there's a new Bose headset. So every little thing, where we stand, warm up. For a lot of us, there was no. Not only were there no fans, which we can't wait to have the fans back, but there was also no people on the sideline. So now there's 100 other people on the sideline. So getting used to all that is important. That's what preseason's for. The coaches get those reps. Now, hopefully the players will get a few reps here on Saturday. And a lot of the young guys, though, I'm anxious to see them go make the team. Some guys last week really made a jump from in my eyes. So that'll happen again Saturday.
Nice. So he's saying that some of these guys made the jump, man. Wow.
Monster spill?
So yeah, that's very interesting in that respect. That these young guys are catching the coach's attention. That's awesome. Yeah, I like that. And I think, if we continue to be that type of disciplined, competitive team going into Saturday, we're going to do well, especially on defense. I think we'll be okay. Again, that offense, though, that's where the problem is. So we're going to watch that offense very, very carefully on Saturday. And I'm going to point that out in the pregame stream. So that pregame stream will start about, I want to say 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, ahead of the game. So we'll stream for about 2 hours, get 2.5 hours, get ourselves set up for the game, and then we'll get into it. But that press conference right there was really eye-opening for me. I don't know about y'all, but that was really eye-opening. In a couple ways, he answered the questions about the deep ball. He covered the health of the players. That press conference had everything in it for me. Everything. D Wade says, "Yo, we need a left tackle." Yes, we do. So let's take a look at this Markel Harrell here. 6'3", 310 pounds. We just signed him. He's a guard. Okay. See, now, y'all remember in the last stream, I told you, don't be surprised if we go after a guard. Don't be surprised. And we did. So there it is. I don't know how updated this is right at the moment, but yeah. Yeah, it's updated today. Okay, cool. Because Harold's in there. So as of right now, we got CJ, we got Zalstra. At wide receiver, the wide receiver issue's been one of the big ones. But yes, you mentioned left tackle. Now, again, we are doubling down on Cameron Irving, according to Matt Rule. Trent Scott has been okay. He's been solid. Now, my question is Martez Ivy. How good or not good is Martez Ivy? And I'd like to see a little bit of reps from him in this Ravens preseason game. I'd like to see that happen. I'd like to see Aaron Monterio. I'd like to see a little bit of him in there. You know, how is he going to stack up? I saw somebody mention, I thought in Big Cat's channel where we cut Steven Sullivan, but I guess not. Because there he is, he's still there. So the running back battle and the wide receiver battle is still very much wide open, as you can see. I think Omar Bayless is going to confirm a spot. Hyman may be on the practice squad. Keith Kirkwood is going to be the question mark because he's just coming off that concussion protocol, so we'll see what he does. We've seen Trenton Cannon. We've seen Rodney Smith. We've seen Spencer Brown. I need to see Darius Clark. What's up, David Screws? How long have I been on? 3 hours now, which is not unusual for these streams because they usually go about 3.5. But there's a lot to cover. There really is. When you look at training camp, there's a ton to cover. So yeah, these streams should typically last about 3.5 hours usually. With everything to cover. You hate that you missed the start of it. Yeah, man. What we covered at the start of it was camp observations. So you can find that on the news on the main website. Or you could watch it back after the stream is over with and check that out. We also covered film observation as well, so you can check that out. And the press conference just recently we were looking at. So, you know, if you missed any part of the stream, that's what we covered. Give you guys some hearts. There you go. Appreciate the sub. It's free to pay attention to KP2. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to you. And also, shout out to Anthony Rochelle, who's watching on Facebook. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, so while I've got this depth chart up, is there any player that you guys would like me to go into detail about and talk about? You know, throw a name in chat, and I will gladly indulge you. Hello, buddy. How you doing today? Pretty well, man. Pretty well. Suffering through that camp heat, man. That humidity is no joke. That was what, real feel like 98 to 100 today? Ooh. I went through an entire Gatorade today. That was rough. That was one of the rough ones. So, yeah, again, if you guys are going to these training camps at any point, if you're able to make them, you know, if you live in the area and you happen to be able to go, or if you're traveling in, you know, to South Carolina, and you get a chance to go to these, I highly recommend getting some hydration, preferably Gatorade, because that sun is going to drain you. It really, really is. And also sunblock. I can't recommend these two things any more than I have been the last videos and streams, man, because it's no joke, man. And people that have just gone to these training camps for the first time or just discovering this, man, this is typical August weather in South Carolina. So you expect this stuff. And speaking of which, we were talking about last stream yesterday where the Matt Rule calls these players out. It's kind of a jab that they came out with a little less energy because of the heat. And I'm thinking, come on now. I come out to 8 practices, I'm suffering through this heat just like you guys are. And that first 2 days weren't even in pads. Yeah, I'm sitting out there like, okay, well, I've got my Gatorade. I don't even, come on, guys. Can't use that. You can't use that as an excuse. I come out there 6 days every year. Suffer through that heat with you guys. So that's just lazy. That's laziness. So it's good to see Matt Rule in the press conference today say that they did well, energy wise, and came out with more of an energy than they did the first day. So that's great. David Screw says, I'm calling it. This team is going to be dominant. Well, the defense is. I don't know about the offense. The offense looks like trash. Yeah, I ain't even go sugarcoat this. The offense looks like trash at the moment. Minus, the starters. You got DJ, you got Robbie, you got Sam Darnold, you got CMC, all putting in the work, But, and the starting 5 of the offensive line have been putting in some work. You just got to clean up the penalties. They look fine. But the wide receivers, though, Will Greer, that's where the domination tapers off to, well, we're looking like the prey right now in that area. We don't like that. We need to be a predator. We don't need to be the prey. This is a jungle, baby. Every time we come out there, it's a jungle. Think of Wofford as the Amazon jungle, right? You're right near the equator. You gotta suffer through that heat. You gotta suffer through, all of that nonsense to get where you're going, right? And the coaches are your compass. And these players have to be predators in order to make these roster spots. They have to be predators. Not prey. Not easy pickings. Predators. And that's what I saw out of this defense today is predators. I saw a defense full of predators today. And I loved it. I loved it, man. Especially Luvu. Frankie, man. If Frankie does not make this 55, I'm going to be shocked. I'm going to be absolutely shocked. This man has been putting in the work in this training camp. So, for the new people that are coming into the stream that didn't catch this line earlier on in the stream, I'm going to say it again. Watch who we cut. Be careful who we cut. The Bills are looking for table scraps. So, David Screws says, this team is stout. I promise. 5 interceptions, I know. And I'm an avid Panther fan. Absolutely, man. You got to look at all aspects, though. You got to look at them all. I'm hoping next season I will be at the next training camp. Let's see how the season goes. Anthony, man, I look forward to seeing you, man. You know where I'm going to be. You know I'll be there. I always put out the schedule on YouTube, on the channel. So be looking for that. Be looking for it on the Keep Pounding page as well. Right when they put out the training camp schedule, I'll immediately be putting this stuff into my calendar and trying to figure out, what days are the best days to be out there. What days I can be there, according to my schedule and my busy workload, with 3 or 4 other projects going on besides YouTube. So, I've got to schedule around stuff. So, family and other projects, but I try to make it to 6 every year. You can look for the hat, the special hat. And of course the notebook. I've got my pen and paper. I've got my backpack, always ready to go for training camp. So, yeah, you won't see a jersey on me. You'll see probably the blue shirt that I usually wear up there, the alternate blue. Because I feel like that's the best thing for me to wear. You want to wear like light colored shirts because you're gonna sweat a lot up there. I'm telling you. So if you're new to Wofford, that's a thing. And I think we're gonna be doing Wofford for one more year before they move it up to York. I don't think they're done with the structure up there. I know that they've started all of that stuff this year, but I have no idea what the progress is though. So, but again, shout out to the staff that kept us safe up there. Shout out to the merch people that were always friendly and kind and always willing to help out, and willing to answer any questions that people have. They're always great people at Wofford, man. And I just can't say enough to praise them, especially the traffic people. Let me tell you something. I have gone to several concerts, and these people have no idea how to direct traffic or parking at all in most of these places. I give credit to the CNBC amphitheater in Simpsonville. I think I got those initials right. They changed the initials, the name for that. So, but it used to be called Heritage Park before they changed it. But they do a really good job of parking up there with their staff. But I've been to Charlotte, I've been to Atlanta, dealing with the parking up there. and both of those places are a nightmare because it's downtown. You know, trying to get into Boa Stadium, and it's a mess. It really is a mess. But the Wofford crew does such a great job with parking. And that's something to be said. I got respect for everybody that was involved with that staff. They're all friendly. They're all willing to answer questions, and they're all willing to help you. If you have trouble. So, speaking of people being in trouble, I saw an ambulance after this practice was over with roll up to the tent near the goalposts where all the players go out. So I was wondering if anybody knew what was going on with that. I went over there and I didn't see anybody. I saw the ice packs and I saw the IV. But this was like, what, 20 minutes after the practice was over with? And you had J.C. Horn over there near the, talking to his family and playing with his cousin. But, I never did find out what was going on there. And I think I remember hearing something about one of the players might have been hurt or have a hurt shoulder or something. And I was just like, maybe that was it. I don't know, man. I mean, dehydration is a thing in this type of heat, so keep that in mind. So that's why I was just like, okay, well, the IV is not uncommon in hot weather like that. You don't get hydrated enough. That's a thing. And the ice packs, maybe it's like a shoulder injury or something like that. And I saw I saw him bring over the cart. I saw him bring over. They had the stretcher thing. So maybe it was just a one-off thing, but I don't know what's going on there. But maybe somebody else does. So if you happen to know what happened there, just let me know. Either in chat or in the comment section after the stream, and I'll get back to you and I'll read that comment. So looking at this defense, I'd like to see more of Doug Middleton, of course, Brian Cole, Sean Chandler, and people have been highly talking about Sam Franklin. Sam Franklin's solid, man. I like him. He's a solid player. I think we solved our backup safety position problem there. Anthony Rochelle says, my dad and grandmother were born in North Carolina, so I have Carolina blood, man. There you go. There you go. Carolina family, man. It's all about family at the end of the day. That's who we are. That's what we do, man. It's in our blood. 2 states, 1 team. We're a family. Yeah. And I love that. I love being a part of this family and this crew. And it is straight up an honor to carry Sam Mills' theme as the name of this channel. It is a privilege and an honor. And I don't take that lightly. And that's why it's in all caps, man. You know, it's not just keep pounding. No, it's keep pounding. That's why we say it like that, you know? Because it means something. You know what I mean? Like all these newcomers just don't understand. You know, they come in and they hear it and they just go, "Well, we'll just join in with the chant." Nah, keep pounding. You have two choices. You can either lay down or you can keep pounding, man. We can either be a predator or we can be a prey. Which one are we gonna do? And I love that. I love that. That's that competitive fire, baby. That's that competitive fire that we need. If we want to win games, if we want to make the playoffs, if we want a chance at that Lombardi, we gotta have it. It's gotta be there. Because if it isn't, we fall short again. We're sitting at that 600, at that 6 wins column again, and we're gonna be asking ourselves why and how did we get here again? I'll tell you how we got there. We didn't have that competitive fire. We became easy prey for all of these teams. For Dallas, for Green Bay, for the Saints, for even the Falcons. God forbid, even the Falcons. Come on, man. You remember watching Sam Mills playing when you were a kid. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Dude. I do too. You know, if I'd have known that those training camp practices existed, I would have been out there for several of those things back then when I was a kid. I would have been learning as much as I possibly could. And watching these players and observing as much as I possibly could. Because that's what I see this new generation doing. You know, they're looking up to these players and they're saying, we need some role models. We need some positive role models. Yeah. You look at all these dirty players that on these teams that get these rings, and you say, well, is this the role models we need for the NFL? For all the new younger generation that's coming up? Then you look at the Panthers team of 2015 and you say, now that's a role model. That's what we want. That's what we want to follow. We want to be the Cam Newton. We want to be the Luke Kuechly. We want to be the Thomas Davis, the Greg Olsen. We want. That's what makes these kids want to learn this game and love it as much as we do. You know, look at J.C. Horn, man. J.C. Horn's a product of that. You know, you look at golly, man. There's so many examples. There's so many examples. And I love that some of these players are taking the time to have these camps and stuff like that, you know, and teach these kids more about this game and why it's so great. And not just, you know, not just all the risks and stuff that you see from the sports people. That's all you hear from the talking heads out there is, oh, there's risks of concussions. There's risks of blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's risks. That's the chance you take. When you put on the pads, when you put on the uniform, these players understand these risks. Every time they go out, they love this game so much that they're willing to do that. They went through college. They went through high school. They went through the scouting, and now they're here in the NFL because they believed that they could do it. When these players, these rookies walk into this stadium in Charlotte, the first thing they see is Sam Mills' famous mantra of keep pounding. That's the first thing they see. The second thing they see is the family and the love in Charlotte and from Panthers fans all across the nation and around the world. That's how it ought to be. That's how it ought to be, man. That's just, oh man, it does wonders for my heart every time I see it. Every time I see all these positive comments and all these people welcoming all these new players, and I'm just like, yes, thank you. It's like y'all are the real ones out there, man. That take the time to throw those comments up and welcome these players because, you know, we're representing ourselves with love every time that we throw up these tweets. We represent this organization. We represent that 2 states, 1 mantra. You know, we represent this logo. We represent everything that Sam Mills built with that logo. And it goes beyond football. Look at the keep pounding mantra when it goes beyond football. Look at all the people that are battling like serious illnesses. Look at the people, like cancer, and various disabilities and stuff like that. And they look at this team and they say, look at these guys. No matter how much they get beat down, they keep coming back. Because they believe in that mantra. So I should be believing in that mantra too. And I should be applying that to my life. And I can keep fighting too. I can battle this cancer. I can battle this depression. I can battle this whatever it is. Fill in the blank. And look at them now. There's so many success stories. So many new fans. There's beautiful stories that just touch our hearts as fans. And we let them there. That's got to feel great. That's got to feel great. And we welcome all these people in as family, from all walks of life, from all countries. We're all inclusive, and it's fantastic to see that. I've seen comments from people in Australia, the UK, where we've been having games in London. I think we got one scheduled for this year too. I think it's the Bucks game. Could be wrong about that, but I think so. But we're trying to get the people in London more involved with American football. Aside from just British football, and it's fantastic to see all these new fans coming on board and just saying, this is so cool. This is a team I could believe in, that I can root for every Sunday. Effie Obata came from there. And that's one of the main reasons why a lot of these people in those areas started rooting for us. Cam Newton gave everybody a reason to start rooting for this team. Everybody latched onto that energy. Luke Kuechly made everybody want to root for this team. Greg Olson made everybody want to root for this team. Thomas Davis. And most especially, Sam Mills. And let's not forget the GOAT, 89. Baby. 89. Who was in the house for the preseason. That's what makes people want to come and be fans of this team. They see these role models and they say, yes, I want to be a Panthers fan. I want to watch this team every Sunday. I want to be a part of this. And now you see these players coming out of college. They see what Matt Rule is building. And they say, I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this family. Because this coaching staff understands it's just as much of a family as it is a business. And before Matt Rule's coaching crew came along, it was just, well, we're all about business, with Gettleman. Or, oh, we're all about saving 100% family, with Marty. And while that's all well and good, you need a balance. And I think we finally found it. How long have I been a Panthers fan? We need to win a Super Bowl. Oh, God, I wish Remmers hadn't cost us that Super Bowl in 15. We were right there. We were right there in 15. I went to 4 games myself. And you don't ever see me buy game tickets. You gotta earn it. I was making some good money that year, and I said, you know what? Why not? We're on a winning streak. Why not? Let's see what happens. And I went to the Eagles game, and I said, ooh, this team's on fire. Then I went to the Green Bay game, and I said, ooh, we could realistically do this year. That was the game that told me right there that we were on the fast track. Meanwhile, you got everybody around the world watching us saying, this is a team we can start rooting for. You see New England in the Super Bowl every year. You see all of these teams that are tried and true. We're tired of rooting for them. We're tired of seeing them every year. What they saw was our mantra. What they saw was the family. What they saw was the role models. And they said, this I could root for. This, I cannot wait to be a part of that celebration. Because I'm going to tell you, when we win that Lombardi, I'm going to be up in Charlotte. I'm going to be up in Charlotte, celebrate all with y'all. I'm telling you. We're going to have a big party up in Charlotte. That's what's going to happen. Oh, man. It's going to be amazing. And we're going to show the world how we celebrate the proper way. Not how Philadelphia did it, where they trashed their city. Nah. We don't do that. We don't do that in Carolina. We love our city so much. It's the Queen City, man. That Queen City represents both states. And it's a shining jewel. And this management understands that. To get to where we're supposed to go, we got to go through so many obstacles. And training camp is a perfect example of of showing that if we go through all the struggles and we push ourselves, we will get there again. So, with that in mind, sorry to go on kind of a whole spiel there, but I hope y'all enjoyed that. But is there any player that you would like me to look at before we get up out of here, man? Any questions y'all have? Anything? I'm good to answer a couple. I got a couple minutes, man. Um, he's been quiet this training camp. And I'm glad somebody pointed that out in Big Cat's channel because I didn't even consider that until somebody pointed it out. So I'm thankful for those that did. I'm just looking down this depth chart list. I'm trying to see if there's anybody I really want to highlight today. Jalen Julius, yeah. He had a good play today. I saw that. I'm still trying to figure out how Morgan Fox beat out Gross Matos. I have no idea how that occurred. But these coaches saw something we didn't. As long as neither one of these guys gets cut and we get a good look at them in preseason, I've got no problem with it. Let's see. But yeah. To highlight Anthony Rochelle here, I actually grew up in the John Fox era. Trying to learn about the game in the John Fox era. Oh, okay. So you got a player, Dan Arnold. Okay, let's talk about Dan. Let's do it. So Dan Arnold, when you talk about this tight end position battle, and Matt Rule pointed this out in the presser, where our defense made our offense check the ball down a lot in these practices. When we're not practicing against the Colts or the Ravens. Just our offense versus our defense. Tight end position becomes a main focus. The whole Sam Darnold to Dan Arnold thing. Whatever. These people come up with some crazy, clever things, But I like him as a player, though. Dan Arnold is a good player. He's a big guy, 6'6", 240. He's a product of Wisconsin, and there's actually a related video here saying he is continuously working to improve his catch radius. There you go. That's something we need to see right there. When we see that, that's good, man. That's real good. He made a diving catch on a tip ball during OTA practice on Tuesday. Okay, there you go. So let's look at his 2020 numbers. 31 receptions, 438 yards, 14.1 average, and 4 touchdowns from this guy right here. And he comes to Carolina after a career best season in 2020 for Arizona, making 31 receptions. So, you gotta like what you're getting here, man. You gotta like him. Spent the first half of 2019 season in New Orleans practice squad. So, I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting to point out that the Saints did not want him. And then he comes to us after a successful year in Arizona. I mean, division rival opponent in the mix here. That's real interesting, bro. Like, I like that. Anthony Rochelle says, "Can I go live with you next time you do your Facebook and YouTube? If that's okay." Sure, man. Absolutely. Let's get together off stream and schedule a day for that, and we'll definitely do that. As I have previously stated, I will be accepting guests during pregame streams up to a certain time. You know, during regular season. So I believe it's up to like 30 minutes before game time for that. But if they happen to be already on before that time cutoff, that's fine. We just don't want to overextend the stream, into the game time. But for preseason, I'm willing to be a little bit lenient there and say again 30 minutes before game time will be the cutoff. But I'd like to do that. So let me know, besides my man Anthony here. And we'll get together on that. Also, let me see something. Actually, there's a certain player number I want to look up. And I think y'all know who it is because I've been watching a little bit of film on this dude during the Colts game. I was watching him specifically. Especially in the red zone. And that is Sean Chandler. Now, the reason I bring this guy up is because when you got these draw plays up the middle, you cannot overextend when you need to cover those gaps. Get up in the middle there and stop those draw plays. And I've seen him do it twice during the Colts game. Now, keep in mind, every time I throw a player under the bus, it's nothing but love, man. It's nothing but love. I'm just trying to point this stuff out, man, because I'm a realist. I'm a YouTuber, and I'm always going to point this stuff out because I want to see these players get better. Always. I want to see them get better. You know, so and some of these players I know they can do better because I've seen them play better in previous years. You know, PJ Walker, you've heard me mention him many, many times this training camp session. This year. But yeah, Sean Chandler is in that position battle at safety. And you got to think. Sorry about the yawn. I'm still focused, guys. But if he keeps overextending that gap, you're going to see more walk-in touchdowns. I'm not joking about that. That's a problem right there. Now, Josh Burns, I can make an exception for because that is not his area of expertise. If you know, you want Josh Burns in specific situations. You don't want him stuck up on the goal line trying to stuff these gaps. That's not what he's good at. He is good at open field, diagnosing the play, and if he guesses it right, boom, you're in the money. If he guesses it wrong, good luck to you. That's yak. That's yards after the catch. And I'm probably the only streamer out there that talks about yards after the catch. As far as I know, I'm the only one. I could be wrong about that, but I think so. But it's important to note that. Because if you're out of position, that's yards after the catch. If your press coverage is not tight enough, that's yards after the catch. If you are running a predictable coverage that Phil Snow has called out for you, and you're in the wrong position, that's yards after the catch. And we've been running that 5 deep because we're trying to disguise our pressure. Well, sooner or later, these offenses are going to get wise to that. It's only a matter of time. You know, this is the NFL. This is the ever-changing league where if you become too predictable, you are going to fall behind. Point blank. And Anthony Rochelle, I know you remember this from back in the day. We had that offensive coordinator that used to run that draw play for John Fox every first down. That's what I'm talking about, that predictability. Nope. These teams got wise to it and they shut it down every time. Then you saw draw plays on second down. Every second down. The guy was just garbage as an offensive coordinator. Let's be real. Now, I don't want to see that happen to our defense because of predictability. I don't want to see the domino effect of the offense go all the way down the ladder and cause us injuries on defense. I don't want to see that. We got to straighten out this offense. We got to. We're not going to get anywhere. It's going to be the same 6-win season we got last year. And I, for one, am tired of settling for mediocrity, especially after I point out every weakness that we have. to this management, and they just do not care about changing it. Well, this management does care. And I'm going to tell you that right now, they do care. They listen to my streams on occasion. They hear my opinions. They see my comments. And they'll never acknowledge them. But I can guarantee you they read everything. So I'm going to reiterate this mantra that we need to put into practice this year. I want this on social media. I want this trending everywhere. The healthier we stay, the better we play. Y'all like that? Y'all like that? Because it's the same thing as don't beat ourselves. I like that one too. But the healthier we stay, the better we play. We got so many injuries. We got so many star injuries. And I think this management's starting to really take this seriously now. So is the rest of the league with star player injuries. That's why you saw these starters not go in as much in the first two games. Part of it's the COVID changes. So, but the majority of it keeps healthy. And it's a trend that has been long overdue in the league. Long overdue. So, and getting back to my original point, which was Sean Chandler being disciplined and not overexerting. You know, we need to be disciplined, but we don't need to overexert. And that's exactly what Matt Rule did with DJ Moore today. He said, okay, well, you want to play? You got to heal up first. We ain't going to throw you out there. You're going to re-injure your back. You're going to heal up. This is not the Ron Rivera era. Not anymore. Man, that's real good. Anthony Rochelle says, I like Scott as the manager. The GM. Yep. Yes, sir. This is a GM that's willing to trade Greg Little for a 7th round pick, ladies and gentlemen. What other GM do you know that would do that in the NFL right now? Nobody values that 7th round pick. And yet, that's where you find the gems. That's where you find them at. The hidden gems that come out of nowhere. So, we get to this point where I think we're in a good position going into this Baltimore game. We're going to find out. We need people healthy. We need to come out of there healthy. We need to look like a disciplined professional team and not like prey. So if we can do that, I would call that game successful. Whether we win or lose, it's preseason. Nobody cares if you win or lose in preseason. It's how you play the preseason games. Because these guys are trying to find depth chart spots. So I think if everybody comes out of there healthy and we do what we're supposed to do, I call it a win. You know, in my book, it's a win. Any preseason game where we do that, that's a win. Uh, with that in mind, I don't want to get too much into the promo for the game, so I'll save all that for Saturday. Let me just check and see if there's any other transactions that we need to be aware of. Other than that, I think we pretty much hit on everything, right? Unless there's somebody you guys want me to talk about, then I'll give you guys a couple extra minutes on that. Want we waived injured Matt Caskey. Okay. We signed Palmore. We signed Harrell. Yeah, Micah Simon was a practice. He was a warm body. Let's be real. He was a warm body. Practice body. I'm not interested in that one. It's going to be that last week where we're going to see a player get cut that we are not happy about. And that happens every year. So it's not going to be Frankie, I can tell you that. Let me see if I can figure out what player it might be. Let me see if I can take a guess. I'm going to take that guess right now, and let's see if I'm right. We're going to come back to this in about 2 weeks. And y'all hold me accountable to this. If I'm right, give me my due credit for it. Let's see. Who's it gonna be? It could be on offense, it could be on D. It could be either one. I think if I had to pick one right now, oh man, that's tough. That's tough. If I had to pick one right now, I'd have to say Christian Miller. Because he's a fan favorite right now. But as far as camp bodies are concerned, Jonathan Celestin. And I will tell you why I say that. It's because we are right in the middle of a linebacker battle right now. We got Patty Fisher, we got Clay Johnston, we got Derek Perryman, we got Stanford here. And Stanford beat out Celestin somehow on this depth chart. Even after seeing all these plays made in that Colts game, he still beats him out. That just makes you go, right? I'm going to put Phil Hoskins on that list too as maybe a possible cut that people are going to be really salty about too. But that's on the bubble for me. You know, that's maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. That wide receiver battle, hard to say. Hard to say if it happens there or not. Probably not. I don't think we're cutting any quarterbacks. I think PJ and Will stay on the roster. Because Matt has pretty much doubled down and said, both of these quarterbacks are solid right now, in short game passing and stuff like that. The problem is that deep ball, though. So we look at this safety battle. Maybe it's Sean Chandler. My screen is frozen. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, it's the frames. I'm sorry about that. I can't really do much about that right now. Yeah, as long as you can hear me, man. That's what's important. But yeah, those are my picks right now. Those are my possibles. We'll see what happens. Y'all hold me to it. Let's see if any of those names pop up in that last week. Everybody else is gonna get cut. That's a warm body. I mean, nobody's worried about that. Nobody's paying attention to that. It's the names that I listed right there that had a great training camp and still get cut. It's that one player. That's what I want to focus on in that last week. And don't be surprised if you see a video of me being very frustrated about that one of those players during that week that we cut. So, yeah, keep that in mind. And I do like to go around social media and check stuff like that and post stuff like that. So, every once in a while. But I think we covered everything. You guys want to cover anything else? You good? All right. Any questions? Alrighty. Again, if you're interested in that Yahoo Fantasy Football League, let me know in the comments, in the chat, anywhere. For the Keep Pounding Fantasy Football League, we'll try to get that going. If we don't get enough people, then maybe we'll just forgo it this year. But if we do, then top 3 winners get a signed letter from me saying thank you for participating and getting in the top 3. If you haven't joined the Facebook page yet, go check that out. Keep Pounding in all caps. Go join up on that. And if you haven't checked out the YouTube channel, like, sub, hit the bell, leave a comment down below on that. And I want to shout out all the people that have checked out the stream today. Lock Poppy, D Wade, David Screws, and Panthers fan. Thank you very much for joining me on YouTube. On Facebook, we've got Anthony Rochelle, and we had one other guest earlier today, too, that isn't showing up now. Anyway, so there's your shout-outs. Thank you to all the new subs. Appreciate all of you. Welcome to the Keep Pounding crew and the family. We love all of y'all, and hopefully we can keep growing this channel. Share this channel with your friends. Share the page with your friends. And let's help this crew grow a little bit, man. And once we get towards regular season, I will announce the schedule as far as what we're going to be doing, streaming wise, and how that's going to go. So, should be the same as last year without changes. So, that in mind, let's get up on out of here. So can I see a keep pounding in chat? Come on, guys. And I will see you guys on Saturday. That is it for this stream. Thank you guys very much for watching. And